Hello everyone. Yes, so here we are with our very first webinar on campus to corporate. Okay, can someone from you quickly confirm whether my visuals and audio are reaching to you or not? You can use comment section to type in. Uh, yes, I hope my audio and video are reaching to you. Can you see my screen? Perfect. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Hardik, for confirmation. Okay, perfect. Very good. Then we can start. Very welcome to our very first webinar on Campus to Corporate. First of all, I would like to thank Bhavesh Oza sir for this, idea. And this is totally his idea to arrange some this kind of webinar for the students. So thank you very much for that. And here we are. I will try my best to share all the information which I have with every one of you. So this platform is on which we are sharing currently. I mean, it's not that difficult to understand. I mean, I hope you have always used this platform for social media kind of thing. You can use this comment section to type in your questions at any point of time. I won't be able to see the screen and your comments all the time, but at the end of this session I will make sure to check what you have typed, and I will try my best to answer all the questions. So yes, if you have any questions meanwhile the session, you can type in the comment box, and we can then discuss on it. So, okay, then I think we should start now. Here we are. So, yes, so this is our idea, campus to corporate. Uh, you might be wondering who the hell am I today and why I'm disturbing you all in the morning on this Sunday. So, okay, let me give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Abhishek Shilu. I've been part of, I mean, rather I would say I was fortunate enough to be part of LD College of Engineering. I'm graduate of 2014 batch. I was there for 3 years because I did my diploma first from Bhavnagar. So Bhav CG Polytechnic Institute is the place from where I took my diploma, and then I got chance to pursue my engineering from LD College of Engineering. Then after I was selected in placement and was placed in one Pune-based company. I worked that for some time. Then I switched to some other companies. Currently, I'm working as senior software developer with one of the European-based company. In my free time, I like to play music. I love music. I like to explore new things. Mm, I like to roam around with my bike. I blog sometimes. So here is my blog address and my LinkedIn profile. You you can reach me via these platforms if you want anytime in future. So yes, this is me. This is our agenda for today. So we are going to discuss very briefly that what options do we have after engineering. So sometimes it happens that we are not that much clear about our career option, that what should we do. Rather, we have multiple choice and we need to make one, that to which path we should go, and which all parameters we can take into the consideration while selecting the specific field for ourselves. So we'll discuss on that for some time. Then we will discuss on what's the life in corporate. I mean, I have been in corporates. It is going to be 6 years almost very soon. I think in a month I will complete 6 years in this industry. So we will discuss some areas that how corporate works, and what kind of technology we are using in our project, what kind of methodologies do we use, what do we do in our day-to-day life. So yeah, I will touch upon that area as well. Then we'll briefly discuss about some technological trends that nowadays we are following. So that might be an interesting area to look into. Then we will have some questions and answers, questions from your side, that I will be able to find in comment section hopefully. And then we will discuss on that and feedbacks. So this is what my expectation is from you all, that you will provide your feedback about this session. This is going to be important for all of us as an organizing committee to organize such sessions in future. We can improvise um, in many areas. So yeah, your feedback is really really important for us. You can take screenshots wherever you want into this webinar, and you can post it to social media. We will read your feedbacks from your probably social media accounts only. Don't forget to use this hashtag LDCE webinar. So with the help of that hashtag only, we will be able to capture all the feedbacks that we hope to receive on social media. So yes, I hope you will use this hashtag while sharing your ideas about this session. Okay, perfect. Then, okay, what options do we have after our graduation? There are many different areas we can explore. Um, what should we do? The question is, uh, is with everyone. I mean, when I was in there, I was also having this question that what should I do? I should join corporate. I should pursue masters. Um, uh, but yeah, I did little brainstorming, and the situation uh, falls into the place, and then gradually I started working in industry. So yeah, but we all have these options, and we would like to consider the open choices for us, and then based on that we can decide what is good for us. Okay, so one option is to study further. um, we have you can take your masters, you can do ME or MTech, you can pursue a PhD if you are interested in teaching field or a research area. In that case as well, PhD is really important. So the gate examination is one of the option that we can appear after our graduation, and during the final year of our graduation, I would say. uh, it is important if we want to pursue our masters from some premier institutes of our country, IITs and NITs. Based on our gate result, we can get admissions in these institutes. Then we have one other option, which is MBA. So yes, some people also prefers this. If you are interested towards management field, then it is very good option. um, then we have option of CAT. We can appear for this exam, and based on the result and all the parameters, you can get admissions in the good management colleges, business institutes all over the country. um, Sometimes people also try one more approach, and that is working in the field for some time. Let's say, I mean, they work in industry for some 2 3 years. They take experience in the real uh, time. They try to find problems for the I mean, try to find the solution for the problems, and then they try to get into management institutes to pursue masters in business management. So this is also one of the option that we can think of. um, Another option which is available to us is study abroad. So yes, I might not be the perfect person to talk about it, but I have friends. So if you are interested in into if you see yourself in other countries for masters for education purpose, then you can route your questions to me via Bhaveshwar or some other faculties. Then I can try and connect to my friends and get your answer. So these GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS are the examinations that we can target if we are interested into studying abroad. Yes, then the option which I took, industry. So we are really lucky that we are in this ID College of Engineering, because um, fortunately this college is offering very nice placements. So yeah, I'm following since last 2 3 years. I mean, I'm seeing that 80 to 90% students are getting placed um, in the industry. So this is really good thing for our department and for our field, I would say. So yes, we have different industries on which you can work. We have different technologies. So you might now be wondering that in which or other in which company I should start working, which company I should be joining, in which technology I should be working. So yes, we are going to discuss all these points in further in our session. But yeah, if you have any session in questions regarding this, you can put in the comment box. We can discuss anything and everything about this particular area, because I think I might be able to answer your queries specific to this I would say area easily. I'd rather be you know I'll be glad to answer your questions. Then we have one other option, and that is government sector. Yes, it's glittering, I would say. It's glamorous. For our specific field, we have limited options in government, but we have all the PSUs. So there are, but they, uh, I mean, till my knowledge, they also recruit from based on the result of GATE. So nowadays, GATE examination is essential. You can prepare for it if you. I don't know what audience is there. I mean, if you are in third year or fourth year, I think it is good time. If you are second year, then you have plenty of time to think about all these options. But if you are in third or fourth semester, then you need to be quick making these decisions about your career. Yes, then you can appear for GATE exam, and if you I mean, based on your score, you will be able to get recruited with such reputed um, public sector undertakings and government sector as well. Then we have one other area, that is civil services. Difficult, I would say, but nothing is that difficult for engineers. So if you see yourself with some administrative positions, reputed administrative positions with the government, IAS, IPS, then definitely uh, you can target such examinations, and you can start preparing. I'm very much sure that if some of you are having these ambitions going into this particular area, then you have already started your preparation. I'm very sure about that, I would say. So apart from these, there are many other options as well, but yeah, but these are the major areas, I would say, which students target after graduations. So this was the brief idea about what are the all options we have. Okay, now we will discuss about corporate, my area, I would say. uh, okay, so how do this industry work? I mean, we learn so many subjects in our engineering curriculum. How these subjects are used in real time? I always had this question that why am I learning integration and differentiation in engineering mathematics, whether I'm going to use this in real time scenarios or not. I mean, um, frankly speaking, it was a bit difficult for me to, keep myself safe from mathematics 3. But yeah, I did that in first try. But yes, let's not talk too much about that. But yeah, you the subjects are sometimes very useful, I would say. Based on the domain in which you are working, it matters a lot. So there are many companies in the environment around us. So mainly we can classify it into two categories. One is service based company and another one is a product based company. Now, what is the difference between such categories? So the service based companies are generally the companies which targets to specific customers, and based on the customer's requirement they prepare one software, and then they will provide this software to the customer. So this will be very specific to that one customer only. Let's say let's say I'm one educational institute, and I want one student management system for me, for my institute. Then in this scenario, I can approach some IT industry, some IT company, and provide all the requirements to that IT company that I need one student management system which can have this set of functionalities. Which whether I will, I want to conduct online sessions into it. I want to conduct online examinations. I want to create students portal. I want to have teachers portal. I can describe all such requirements to one company, and that company will develop this particular software for my institute. So I can use this software. So this provided solution, this provided software was very much specific to my organization. So service based companies generally do such kind of work. But when we talk about product based company, then product based company will have some template ready made with them. And when some customer approaches such product based company, what they will do is they will provide the idea to the customer, and they will tell them that we have such kind of product. If you are interested, we can customize it and make it compatible as per your requirements, but we are not going to change the structure of it. Our structure will remain same. You can use this software, but you should be using as it is. I mean, we are providing a set of functionalities that we are offering to many different educational organizations such like you. So product based companies generally target the large audience, and the expansion of product based companies in that sense is, we can say, it's relatively easy to expand if we have some product in the market. So yes, this is the there are many more differences, but this is the basic idea about the difference between the product based and service based organization. Now these both organization, product based and service based organization, both works in some education, some business verticals. This term might differ company to company, but yeah, some will say that we have these many domains in which we provide service. These many areas are in are there in our verticals, business verticals. So yes, so this is the high level idea about, companies generally work in many area, but areas are not limited to the mentioned here. This is just for an example. Finance. So this finance particular domain will cover all the insurance related products or softwares, banking related softwares. We have some financial institutions, some loan management organizations. So all these kind of institutes come under this financial domain. Then we have retail and e-commerce. So this retail and e-commerce sector is also very vast. We see this Amazon and Flipkart, Jabong, Mintra, all the e-commerce platform that we are using nowadays to order our product, and we can get it home delivered. So yes, this particular e-com sector and retail sector is also expanding a lot. Many companies are working in this area as well. We have media and entertainment. This is also a big, giant money generating and sector, I would say, for many companies. So yes, entertainment area is also. We see this television industry and internet industry nowadays. YouTube is also one of the good platform for entertainment. So some companies provide some solutions in this area for such industries. Healthcare, healthcare is also very much, I would say, it's a really important sector for any organization, because um, companies are directly, their solutions, their softwares will directly be dealing with someone's life. So this is also one of the critical area. As in finance, I mean, financial softwares are always dealing with money. So let's say some errors are there, some problems are there with such kind of live softwares, then people might lose money. But in healthcare, people might lose their life if that kind of software doesn't work properly or as expected in when it was required to operate. So based on the sector, industries generally work in such business verticals or domains. There are many more, but we are not going to list and discuss on everyone. Now the next question is, what does the industries, I mean, offer to us when we join industry? What kind of roles are there for us on which we can work? What kind of responsibilities will be given to us when we be joining any industry? So during, I would say, starting 3 to 6 months, depending on the size of organization and policies of the organization, we might go through some kind of tech trainings. That could be technical trainings, that could be, we might directly be assigned to some projects in which we will be working as an intern. um, we might start working as a full-time employee of that company directly with some live project. So this totally is going to based on the size and policies of particular environment. So it's not like that my X company X is hiring candidate directly on a training period, and one company is directly hiring people and putting them on real-time projects. So this particular area will have more responsibilities, but this area will not have more. So it's not like that. I mean, starting phase, I would say 1 to 2 years of our career is learning phase for us. So we should, try to expand our knowledge as much as we can. We should always try to learn from our seniors, from the real-time problems that we face. We all the time we are learning some subjects in our industries, but when we see this in action, in some simple language, I would say, what we are learning in education institutes, I mean, everywhere in the country, it's not just limited for one college. We are learning that how to ride a car. Okay, then we know that we have one steering wheel in front of us. We have some pedals, accelerator, pedal, brake, and clutch in front of us. We have one gear stick to handle. So these all basic fundamentals will be, taught to us while pursuing our engineering. But in now how industry works, I would say, working in industry is like riding Formula One car. So you might ask me that whether whatever I'm going to learn in engineering will I be able to apply all the knowledge in industry or not? It is relevant in that sense or not? Then I would say yes, it is very much relevant, but it's not the only thing based on which you can, ride Formula One car. You will have to learn many more new things, but that doesn't also mean that I can neglect whatever I'm being taught in engineering. So I should always be attentive. I should always try to grasp as much as I can during while I'm studying, because that is eventually going to help understanding more that how industry works, how to ride Formula One car. Because if you are not aware about the work of, brake, accelerator, and clutch pedal, then you definitely will not be able to ride Formula One car. So whatever we are learning in this educational institute, that is very very important for the market and for the industries. But we are not directly going to apply that same knowledge into the field. We'll have to enhance on it, and then we'll be able to apply our knowledge and build something in the industry. So yes, we should keep this in mind. So yeah, there are different roles on which we were talking about. Yeah, so there is one developer role. The responsibilities of this role is to code programming. Yeah, there is one more perception in rather I have observed, or rather I was in engineering at that time. I had this perception that IT industry means programming only. If I'll go into this industry, then I will have to code day and night. That's the only thing IT people do. So let me tell you something, that's not the only thing. So if you feel that I'm not that much good with programming skills, or I cannot code that efficiently as other students are doing, then not to worry, you will also fit somewhere in the industry, but you need to find correct place for that. So developers responsibility will mostly cover programming, but yes, programming, coding, along with that there are some more responsibilities. We'll discuss more on this SDLC, software development life cycle. Yes, our software engineering subject that we learn, very, it's a theoretical subject while studying, but that fundamentals is directly linked to this particular area. So we as a developer, what we do in industry is we gather the requirement from the customer, we process the requirement, we find the technological solution for some problem, because the requirement to which we are receiving from the customer or the business will be like, in the statements, but we are not sure that what kind of technology we should be using, what kind of technological solution we can provide to this particular area, and then we will have to find a compatible solution, implement it, and then we will have to deliver it to the customer. So it's complete life cycle, it's a process. I mean, it's not just one phase. So development is one phase, I would say. In SDLC, you are aware about that. We have multiple phases, right? Designing, requirement gathering, designing, development, testing, and deployment. So development is one phase out of this pipeline. So that's the role of developer generally. And nowadays it's a time of full stack developer. Industry is also demanding, that you should be aware about multiple things. If you are good with programming, then that's not the only requirement criteria. You should be good with communication as well. You should be good with interacting with the people. You should be able to grasp what is customer is saying, and what you should be able to take decisions on your own for the betterment of the business as well. So yeah, there are many more responsibilities, but yeah, no one knows everything on day one. Gradually we will learn all everything. So yes, so this is the primary requirement of developer. Then we have another area, tester. In software testing, generally programming is not that much essential. Yeah, but you will have to learn the programming. You cannot just say that I don't know programming and I'll be, a software tester. So no, it's not like that. Nowadays industry is demanding everything, so you need to be pioneer for every technology or every work, so there is one manual testing. Some industries are still working. Manual testing is very first phase in the testing, I would say, testing domain, in which testers will manually test the application. I mean, one software is developed and that software is given to the testing team or other tester, and then those testers will test on this application to find the issues and report it to back to the developers. Then we have automation testing. So this is this market, I mean, in automation testing is really booming nowadays. Industries are demanding more and more automation tester. So here some some code is expected from the tester as well. Tester will have to script it out that way that they can test the application. It's self-explanatory term, I would say. Automation testing, you need to automate the testing process so that it will reduce the human efforts. Then we have mobile testing. Nowadays mobile apps are developed really fast. I mean, many industries are working in this area as well. So mobile testing is also one of the area on which you can think to build your career. Security and performance testing. So security testing is like, you need to be sure about the security perspective of your application. You need to be sure that it's not vulnerable to some kind of security threats. Hacking kind of thing should not be applied to your product. You need to be sure about that. So security testers generally and performance testers generally monitor the performance of the application, that let's say thousands and lakhs of users are using this website at the same time. At that time this software should provide proper output to the user. It should not be hanged or something like that. Then we have UX and UI. So UX is user experience area. Generally, it's a designing area, I would say, where if you are in this role, then you need to provide, you need to think and visualize the screen layouts and provide it to the customers and developer team. Then we have business analyst. Business analysts are generally business expert, domain knowledge expert, I would say. Let's say for finance institution, for the companies which are working in finance, then some commerce, um, the person who is having good commerce knowledge would be business analyst, because that person can understand particular finance domain, and then he can communicate to customer and translate their requirement into the language in which development team will be able to understand. So this business analyst work is to get business from the market and enhance the business opportunities for the organization. So SDL, now we will talk something about working methodologies that we have currently in the industry. So one is SDLC, software development lifecycle. So this is the complete process of developing any product. We already talked about this um, requirement gathering, designing, development, testing, and then deployment. So these many phases are all covered inside SDLC. Nowadays, agile way of working is, I mean, many industries are working in agile way of working. So this is very flexible, rapid software development environment, and this is actually software development model. Agile is a way of working. It's a methodology. It's not any kind of technology or like that, but it's way of working, it's methodology, it's mindset. So you can read more if you are interested in Google on it. But yeah, agile is the way of working in which many industries works nowadays. So this was all about what do we do in industry in day-to-day life. Now we will discuss and touch upon some areas that what challenging challenges do we face in industry, what kind of problems are there. So yeah, I mean, few days or few months are not, I mean, that easy for everyone. There are many things to learn. There are many challenges that we face in industry. One of the challenging, I also discuss some aspect of this problem, this challenge in previous slides as well, about technology. That sometimes it's difficult to understand that how this particular we for an instance we have I mean, we are learning SQL in our curriculum, right? Select star from one table and displaying data to the user is not that difficult. We have done it in our project as well. We did some small, you know working models as well on that area. But when we see how industries are using this SQL, I mean, it's not that plain simple select queries. We'll have to think about many more areas. I will just give some one example. Let's say that one table is there, you need to fetch data from that table and display the data to the user. What you will do, you will fire one select query to the table, you will fetch all the data, process it, and you will display it to the user. Simple. But while we are in college, we don't need to think much about other aspect, because we always know that we are the one who are going to use this particular software on our local machine only. But when industries industry will have such a requirement, then they will think differently. They will think that how many users are going to use this software. So the answer might be different. Let's say lakhs of users are going to use this software at the same time. Then how many records do we have in one table? We might have lakhs of records in the table. Then firing select query to the lakhs of record is not a very good idea. It will eat up much time. It will be hit to the performance of the application or application. It will be difficult to fetch particular data from the table and prepare the data set and display it to the user. So it will going to be very slow application. So when you are working in the industry, you will eventually after some time start thinking differently to the problem. So these kind of things will face, or rather will think as a challenging environment for us. So what can we do to make ourselves ready even before coming into the industry? We should it's my recommendation. I mean, it's on you whether to take it or not. But we should always run behind the concepts. I mean, syntax is something we can get from the Google. We have many database engine nowadays with us. I mean, we can use Oracle, we can use Microsoft SQL Server, we have MySQL, we have many SQL platforms with us. It's difficult to remember syntax for everything, so you can always go for concepts. Let me just give you another example. We have many object oriented programming language in place nowadays. Okay, C sharp, VB.NET, Java, C++, many more. So it's not easy to remember syntax, but yes, inheritance is the concept. If we understand this concept, and if we know that how to implement this particular concept in one programming language, then this concept is never going to change for another programming language. Only the change part will be syntax, and that we can easily find on Google. So always try to understand the concept, basic concepts. That is um, very much required. Another problem that we face. I'm also from Gujarati medium. So yes, this was a challenge for me to communicate to the people in English when I mean I entered. I'm not saying that I'm pioneer in this area nowadays. I also face today it's, I mean, as well. It's a bit difficult for me to communicate sometimes, but if I'm familiar with the environment and I'm comfortable, then I can speak. But it's not just speaking. I mean, you need to convey your message to the customer properly, or rather to the person on the other hand properly. He or she should be able to get what you are saying. So, and you also should be able to understand what they are saying. So communication is also a bit of a challenge, because nowadays, I mean, when you will start working, your competition will not be just your classmate. While you are in there, you are just trying to compete each other. I mean, in a positive way, that what is getting who I mean, whether I'm getting good marks or not, whether I'm able to participate on the and the curricular activities that department is organizing or not. We have many areas, but your competition is limited to your college or your classroom, I would say. But when we are into the industry, our competition is not just one particular group. We are competing to the entire world, and sustaining our position in this competitive world is something difficult. But the way out is you need to be good with what you are doing. So I think this is the only way. I mean, there is no other way. You should always be good what you do in day to day life. So, but not to worry. We will all learn eventually everything one day. I mean, everything in sense of what is required for us at particular time. So we will try to get as much as we can. Then one other issue is, I mean, some might face financial challenging as well. I would say it's a fun part, because now you are free to make your financial decisions on your own. You don't need to get some money from your parents. You are financially independent, so this is actually fun part, unless and until your friends are borrowing money and not returning to you. Then I think I would say it's a challenge, but it's actually good part of being into the corporate life, or rather um, as a working person, that you will be able to make your financial decisions. You will have financial independence. So I hope, if you think that this might be challenging for us when we start working, then I think now is the perfect time. You should start working on it from today itself. So I hope that you will think on it. Then let's just go to current technology strength. And before that, you will have to excuse me for 1 minute. I just need to take a sip of water. Sorry about that. Okay. Um Current technology trends. Okay, so this technology trend is it's not constant. That's why the trend is there. I mean, it is going to change every day, so it's difficult to keep track that what is trending currently. But there are some areas which I have listed down here. So we can talk something about that. That what different smart options we have and what industries are working currently. So one area is artificial intelligence and business intelligence. So AI, so catchy to, I mean, it's really fancy when we hear AI. Someone will say, "I'm working with AI," then we will, yeah, I'm really impressed because you are working with AI. So from my understanding, AI to me is it's a piece of code which can make smart decisions on your, I mean, on it, without any kind of intervention from human. So these kind of particular softwares, I would say it's AI. So I mean, in my mind, I am thinking like our if else statement is also making decisions without any intervention. I mean, if we write some conditions in if, then the data or whatever the data will be there in if block will be executed. And if that condition is false, then the else part will be executed. So is it a smart piece of code? To my understanding, I can say that yes, uh, it's a small piece of AI, but it's not good enough to put AI in your resume. So but I'm just sharing this to I mean understand the idea. So and business intelligence tools are something that that can take decisions for the betterment of the business, for the business enhancement, or rather which can provide some valuable information to the business. For example, let's just you know I'm just thinking out loud. Amazon want to plan some sale. Then the data which is available to Amazon management will request to its employees that can you tell us that at what time we have maximum number of customers on our website based on the historical data. So the so the employees will crunch into the GBs or TBs of data to find that what's the time of the day, what's that particular 1 hour in a day where Amazon is having maximum number of customers on its website. So at that time, if they launch some sale, then there are higher chances of getting good revenue. So such kind of tools will always helpful for the business. So instead of manually crunching the set of data and finding something, um, industries are developing such kind of tools which can give good reports and good analytics and statistical data to the organization, based on which management or organization can make good decisions for the good um, growth. So such tools we can consider under BI. So AI and BI is one of the trending area. Then we have machine learning. Okay, this is also a very good area. Machine learning is when self-explanatory term. Machine learning, machine itself is learning new things. Okay, then nowadays let's continue discussing the same example that we just had, the Amazon example. Okay, now let's say that the software is ready. Amazon have developed one BI tool which can provide statistical data that at what time the maximum number of customers were there, which is the state of the India country from which we have received multiple maximum orders in one particular week, which part of the country is having maximum customer base. And based on these, organization generally makes some decisions. Okay, this software is already implemented now. Let's say that during development everything wasn't fixed, that we might need this particular area or this particular data. At a time of development it might not be fixed, but if you are adding that particular functionality into the software, then your software should be able to tell you that you might need such kind of data in future. So do you want me to analyze the historical data and provide you reports on that? So our software itself can make smart decision. Our software will learn. The best example that every day some of us might be using is mobile assistant. So that is, I mean, based on the questions you ask, based on your likes and dislikes, based on your browsing history, based on your behavior around the software, that software will learn eventually and then take smart decisions for you. So this is also, I mean, good example of machine learning. Then we have SaaS. This is software as a service. Actually, we have when in cloud-based environment we have three different terms. It's PaaS, SaaS, and I don't know how to pronounce IaaS. As no, no. Software as a service, product as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So this is the area of cloud. So generally, what industries do is they provide SaaS, software as a service. I mean SaaS kind of solution. So they can host it on a cloud environment, and they can provide the same software, and then they can sell this software as a service to multiple customers, so they can generate revenue with the help of same tool. So yeah, there are many industries working in this area. Then we have Azure, Microsoft Azure, AWS. So this is web servers on which you can host your website. Initially, few years back, Azure and AWS were just hosting environment, but nowadays they are expanding like anything. I mean, it's everything on Azure. You demand one thing and you can search. I mean, we'll start discussing on Azure, then I think 3 4 hours we can continuously discuss on it, and still our content won't be completed. I mean, so Azure and AWS are that vast, and we can do many things with that. You can search on Google for that. Microsoft Lewis. This is also interesting. I did some experiment, and I developed some applications in this area as well. Lewis is language understanding integration services. It's offered by Microsoft. So you can develop chatbots with the help of Lewis. So there will be interaction kind of thing with your application and human. You can ask some application which can give you cricket score, some weather related update, some if you want to book some kind of travel ticket, then you can use such chatbots. The good example is nowadays I mean, many industries, your banking domain is also using such some kind of chatbots. Swiggy, Zomato, if someone is staying in hostel, they will be familiar with these platforms, that if you have issue with your order, then you need to go to the support option and start chatting to the automatic chatbot. If that chatbot is not able to solve your query, then your query will be redirected to real person. So it will reduce the burden on the real human being. So software itself is making decisions for you and interacting with you as a human. So, and IoT, Internet of Things, it is also very, IoT is also vast area nowadays. Operating smart homes are everywhere. I mean, you can operate your electricity equipment, your lights and your fans with the help of just mobile application. It's very common nowadays. Um, you are returning back to home from your work, and um, meanwhile, in I mean, in between, you think that by the time I reached home, my washing machine should start itself, and washing cycle should be completed before I reached home. So you can just press few buttons on the mobile app, and it will start your washing machine, which is at your home. So yeah, these kind of things is feasible nowadays with the help of this IoT. Now we have data science and big data. It is also vast area. Generally, research. This all topics are. I mean, research industries or R&D industries are operating in this area. Big data and data science is also. I mean, uh, when you log into some social media accounts, let's say you are logging into to Twitter and you are logging in Instagram, you are using Facebook. So based on your likes, Facebook will suggest something that you are liking some kind of pages, so you might like this page as well. So this is based on data science, that they are applying, they have your data, they are analyzing it, and then they are making decisions on it. So information security, we also discussed some thing on this in our um, previous slides as well. So data security is also very much important. Your application should be unhackable, or rather it shouldn't be crackable, or rather you need to be sure about security parameters while developing it. So this is also one of the good area in which you can um, think to start your career. Okay, then, okay, I think we are towards the end of our session. So I think this is what I thought to discuss with you. I did convey whatever I planned, but if you have any questions in specific, I can quickly go to our comment section and check if you have provided me any questions or not. By the time you can also type in something, your ideas. You can type in any language. I can understand English, Hindi, Gujarati, and Marathi. So you are if you are it's not like you need to put it in English as well. ગુજરાતીમાં લખશો તો પણ મને સમજાશે જ. I mean, I will be able to answer. So I would really encourage if you have any questions. So please feel free uh, to ask me anything. I will try to answer. I haven't received any question till now, I think. No questions. Generally, this happens in two situations. Either you understand everything, or I, I mean, I don't need to speak next. Uh, okay. Yes. Now I've started. Okay, getting some questions. Okay, we can go through it. Bhavesh sir is asking about. Okay, thank you, Tushar sir, for your feedback. Bhavesh sir is asking about the stress of corporate culture. Uh, yes, I mean. It is also one of the things that we learn eventually to handle such stress level. But initially in my starting days, I used to work. I mean, the work pressure or the amount of work used to be, like I start my work in the morning around 9 o'clock somewhere, and returning back to home from office was around 1 a.m. in the night, or rather after midnight was very common for me. I mean, you can say after five out of 5 working days, I used to come home after midnight in 4 working days. So initially I find it really frustrating that what am I doing? I mean, um, how can one live with such kind of work? But eventually, if you like what you are doing, then it's not that stressful. You will really enjoy the work. um, but it's not always the same. You will start you will learn new techniques to handle such kind of issues. You can provide some data to your management. You can use email as one of the tool. You can plan your work. So yeah, but sometimes it might feel some frustrating work and irritation, but eventually uh, you will learn techniques to handle it. It was a really good question, sir. Then we have one another question that what about job security? Really good. Like this question. In private sector, the job security is not. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. In your job letter, it is very much typed in bold and capital that your association with any organization is temporary and on condition basis. We can reject you the moment, or rather fire you the moment we want. But generally the organizations are not that I mean, organizations are not really dishonest. They also will value its I mean their employees. They will also provide good environment to work, because nowadays sustaining in market is challenging for you as well as an employee, but for business as well it is really important to stay on the position on which they are, and compete the other players in the market, and come to the top. So job security, I would say it's a risky, but if you are good with what you are doing, then organizations are generally, I mean, they don't and if some recession situation I mean situations are there in place, then they also evaluate based on performance that what our, I mean, it's not going to be our college project that out of four people, one is just taking print out. Then, I mean, that people, I mean, in real time, in our college project, it's like that people will might get good marks, good grades than the person who actually coded the entire project. But in real time, it's not going to be that. I mean, I would say that kind of the situation. They will evaluate. Organizations will evaluate employees based on their performance. So yeah, job security is, but you need to, be smart to handle. I think we have one more slide at the end that will answer. That's just one line. I would say answer to this question. Thanks a lot for this question. Good question. Then we have one more webinar. Okay, one more point is about the work which I do. The question is like, would you like to have one more webinar in the area of your work? Of course, the participant. Okay, I mean, that's not a big deal, but uh, definitely I can have one session. Whoever is interested, you can contact me anytime. I specifically won't be able to share about my project detail or what I'm doing in because that's some confidential detail. But I can give idea that how industry is working detail. Maybe we can have one workshop. I mean, in which we can define some problem and we can develop on it. I mean, so it will be kind. I mean, like hackathon kind of thing. So it's good idea. Yes, definitely we can have that. Uh, yes, I like this question. Thanks for this question. Yeah, definitely you can ask Bhavesh sir. We can organize such workshop for the interested student. Then we have one more question. How was your coding skills and communication skill at the time of campus placement? I think Bhavesh sir and Tushar sir are two familiar names which I'm reading in the comment section. You can ask them about me. They will be able to answer about on this particular question. But I would say that I really enjoyed coding when I was in college. It's always been my area of interest. So yeah, and communication skill is something which you can the best way is to practice it. I mean, you can start speaking in English if you find it difficult with your friends. Then I think it will improve to some extent. And when you will start full time working on it, then it will eventually be improved. I mean, there is no need to worry about it. But you need to be just conscious when you are trying to convey your message to the people. So if you can do this, communication is not, and communication skill is not something about speaking English only. If my English is not that good, I am very well aware about that. So uh, but if as long as you are conveying your message to the party, then your communication skills is good, I would say. So yes, but if you find it difficult to speak in English, then definitely you can try to read books, read newspaper articles. But the best way is to practice it. So start speaking to your friends and family. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that question. Then we have one next question that if anyone selected in big organization and he or she is selected for testing by organization by is there any way of getting developer section? Oh, nice question. Okay, so the question is like if in placement, organization is saying that I am selecting you as a tester, but my area of interest is development. So can I change my stream? Yes, many organizations offer such kind of transition between the domains, but you need to be vocal about that. The moment you join the organization and organization, you need to convey this message to your HR or your recruitment partners or the people or your trainers. If you tell them that my area of interest is development, not testing, then is it anything that you can do for me that I might be migrated to development? Then they might ask you to appear for some interviews. They ask you some questions. In short, they will ask, you will be required to prove your skills. If you can do that, they might offer you some good opportunities that you are looking for. And it's not like that there is no development in testing. If you are good with testing, you can very well target automation testing. That is very vast field, and you can do as much coding as you want in automation testing. So getting any field is, I mean, my personal belief is whatever you are getting, because we don't know anything about any of the streams, we will eventually learn when we start working on it. So just give it a try, work in it for some time. 6 months, 1 year is not that, I mean, if you give that much amount of time, then you will be able to understand whether I'm having this interest in this particular area or not. So very good question, thanks for that. How to develop skills while working for career advancements? um, okay, yes, we can attend some online courses. Industries sometimes also offer some courses. There are some tie-ups with universities as well. I mean, as the time you are associated with one particular organization, based on some terms and condition, you can pursue your masters as well. So such kind of career enhancement plans are also available in the corporates. So based on the company with on, I mean, you are joining, you can select such options. But online learning nowadays is a, um, I mean, it's not something on which you need permission from somewhere or something like that. You can start learning the moment you think about it. So yes, thanks. Um um Thank you, Bhaveshwar and to Sashar, for your feedbacks. What is the scope in the government organization or PSUs as a computer engineering related job? Okay. Uh, yes, we have many government organizations, and specifically, if you visit any website, let's say you are visiting some government website, then the domain for that website is going to be gov.in. So you can visit any government website, and you will find few logos, in the footer section. um, one logo that I'm very much sure about, that you will find that definitely in the footer section is NIC, that is National Informatics System, I think. So C Center, I think, NIC. So this NIC is government IT organization. um, I mean, we shouldn't be directly saying such kind of terms that it's government IT organization, but it's the organization managed by government, and it is working for government to develop some projects. So any website which is managed by government is developed and hosted by NIC. So you will find few logos in there. You can just check the requirement or recruitment board for such organizations, and um, um, then you will be able to find the recruitment options or other open job positions in the government organizations. NICs are, I mean, national operated. I mean, there are many institutes. Um, BSNL is there, nuclear department is there. Um, I mean, I might not be able to recall everything as of now, but they also recruit employees based on your GATE results. So you should follow some job portals, and then you will be able to find open positions and what kind of curriculum you need to follow. Some organizations also take its own examination. I mean, they don't generally recruit employees based on GATE results. For example, when I was in engineering at that time, ISRO used to take its examination. I mean, that was managed and governed by ISRO only. They conducted this exam, and based on your performance in that exam and your interview, they used to recruit you. So you can also prepare for such some exams. You can search on internet for the exam dates and application forms, such kind of things. um, there are many, I mean, organizations which are offering such kind of examinations. So yes, that's a good question. Thanks for that. Any other thing? Did I miss anything? You can point it out if I miss. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for the list. IPR, ISRO, NIC, BARC, State Data Center. So yes, you can check website for this organizations, and you will find there is one career options on the website. You can explore that area. Which has more growth rate between government or Indian tech industry? I would say it depends case to case basis, or rather, at what extent employee wants to enhance his or her skills. That is also very much important. I mean, it's not that if I join government sector, then chances of my technological enhancement is higher or lower, or if I join any private sector, then I won't be able to enhance or um, my technical skills. But it's on the nature of that person. It's about the attitude. I mean, if you want to learn, then you will be able to learn in any environment. So that will totally depend on the nature of the person, I would say. It's not like government people cannot learn new thing, and private people have options to learn. But yes, I would say it's based on the nature of the people. How to improve probability of getting selected in college placement event sooner? Any tips? Very good question. Thanks, sir. Uh, for that, I would say you need to do some homework before placement season starts. So, which company comes into the placement drive? So, if you have this information, you can try and contact to your seniors that out of my seniors batch, how many students are working in which company. You can try and approach them. I would suggest that good way to approach is LinkedIn. If you know each other, then it's okay to use Facebook and other tools as well. But LinkedIn is formalized, and it's a formal tool of communication. And it's not like if some stranger is messaging me, then um, why he or she is messaging. But I mean, it's open culture. I mean, you can just ask any question you want to the people, and they will hopefully answer your questions as well. So then you can ask them about the situation in the company, that what is your work culture, what kind of technology your industry is working, what was your recruitment process, because that is what specifically we are discussing now. So generally what I observed, I mean, the pattern which I observed is generally they take one examination, that will be written test. They might ask some basic technology related questions, your curriculum related questions only. Some companies will ask aptitude, logical reasoning kind of questions as well. For that, RS Agrawal, I think everyone is using that tool. That is sufficient. I mean, that is basic. Based on that, you can build based on the level of the examination that of particular organization. So you can, um, get this detail from your seniors, and then based on that, you can work on it. But yes, um, technology concepts, all the subjects, object oriented concepts, SQL, data structure concepts. This is going to be there in each and every interview. um, there is one term in our Gujarati language. ઇન્ટરવ્યુ છે ને એ એક ફૂટેલું ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર છે. So તમે ઇન્ટરવ્યુમાં જાઓ ને, before that only you are very much aware about the questions, that what kind of questions I might ask by the interviewer. So if you work on that even before appearing for interview, then it's not that difficult to crack any interview. So my tips would be to work on your basics. Um, you can among your friends you can take mock interview rounds. You can ask few questions to each other, and that way you can practice. That will definitely increase your chances to getting selected in the organization. And don't fake yourself. I mean, um, just be confident about what you did, and it is important to do something to show that confidence. faking confidence is not something everyone can do. So if you, and interviewers are also smart, they will also be able to get whether you are faking it or whether you really did it. They will ask few questions, and based on your answer they can judge you easily. And you don't need to be afraid or shaky in the interview. Be confident, answer as much as you can, be vocal about your skills. If you cannot answer the question they are asking, then let them know that what you know. Sometimes it is also important that interview might ask you some Java questions, but you are not that good with Java, but you are good with SQL. Then you can highlight that. I mean, in a different way. You cannot just tell that person directly that don't ask me anything related to Java. Ask me SQL. I know SQL. No, no, no. That's not the way to convey your message. You can put it in a sugar coated way, that yes sir, our front end technology was Java in our tool, but we used SQL as backend technology. um, Fortunately I did get chance to work with that particular area. So we had this kind of table structure, and we used to get data with Adio.net or any other technology that you, but yeah, you can wrap your message inside your conversation, and then um, throw it to the person in a way that they might start taking interest in you, and will then the next question will definitely be on the technology you worked. So, and that interviewer is also in your campus to hire students, and so it's not like they are just there to pass their time. They have also other work. So yes, be confident, but don't fake it, and do the best whatever you're doing. That's the way I think that will increase your chances of getting selected in the organization. Give some tips for zero placement companies. Okay. uh, okay, so 0 day placement, they generally will target I mean, objective of when the company is coming in organization on 0 day, then the expectation is they will hire the higher number of students, I mean, from the college. So get information about that company, that what is the interview process, what is the recruitment process for that company. um, Ask your seniors about it. I mean, it's not always fixed that company X will be coming on 0 day or company Y will be coming on 0 day. That will based on the situation, but whatever company is coming first, you can ask questions to, you can read on internet, you can get some informations about company as well. You can read company website. They in I mean, after your written exam and your personal technical interview, they might put you in HR interview. So in HR interview, they might not ask you that too many technical questions. They sometimes HRs are also sometimes they are technical person, but they won't ask you too many questions. They will ask you some logical riddles, some puzzles. They will try to get that what you researched about the company, what is your area of interest. They will try to judge you that whether you are going to stay in the company, or um, side by side you are also preparing for CAT, so you are just trying to get this job as a backup option. They are smart, they can judge these kind of things. But um, for 0 day, I mean, if you really my humble request to all the students who are thinking to pursue master degree, and for who are planning to study further, if that is fixed for you, then I would suggest that you should not I mean, it's your personal choice definitely, but you should not secure one place which one needy person might get. So yes, but you need to be really sure about that. If it's fixed that you, I want to study further, then only I can take this distance. But it's on you. You can decide whatever you want. But yes, that's my tips that I think I would say. Perfect. Any other questions? Perfect. It was really nice interacting with every one of you. You had very nice questions. Um, really impressed with your thought process. Thanks a lot for all the questions. Thank you very much for joining this session. Now my expectation is I hope you will write feedback on your personal timeline or wall based on this session. Don't forget to use this hashtag LDCE webinar. You can put it anywhere. You can put it on LinkedIn. You can put it on Facebook. If you have taken any screenshots, you can also put that screenshots on the social media. Will get your don't hesitate to share your ideas. We will work on that. We will also try and take some technical or other technology specific webinars as well. We are also planning on that. If you like this session, it was Bhaveshar's idea. Don't forget to thank him. If you don't like this session, then you can directly blame me. Don't blame college or Bhaveshar. It was me who cannot deliver it properly. So, but I hope negative feedbacks are also welcome. See, giving feedback is really important for the person who are organizing it. So, but giving no feedback is like we don't we don't care about anything about it. So I hope you will write something on the social media. Thank you very much for this session, and this is my message to every one of you. I would say it's one line from the some web series. I don't remember from where I heard it, but I really liked it. So the essence is you need to be learn something every day. So if you do that, then you will be able to sustain your position really well, and you will also enhance your knowledge. So on this note, let's close this call. Thank you very much for joining it, and we will also try to upload this session on YouTube. So we will provide you the link. You can share it with your friends and the students you feel it might help them. Okay. Thank you very much again for joining in.